Hi, I'm Mr. Verardo.
And I'm Miss Krika.
3 months ago, a tragedy struck not just the state nor country, but the entire world. As coronavirus began to spread, we saw fear, panic, and a response that led to the closure of schools.
And with that, classrooms were left empty, hallways silent, and events canceled for the foreseeable future.
The class of 2020 will never again get to walk down the halls, sit in the cafeteria, or hear the bell ring to dismiss them.
But they never gave up. Through it all, they persevered. Tonight, we gather as a family to celebrate their achievements, accomplishments, and all they have done over the past 12 years.
For though it may have forced us apart, tragedy cannot erase the bonds and relationships we have built.
Without further ado, it is our pleasure to present to you the Johnston Senior High School Class of 2020 graduation.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Now at this time, I would like to invite Christopher Flanagan, Vice President of the Class of 2020, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chris. Now at this time, I ask Senior Madison Kenny to lead us in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Madison. That was beautiful. Welcome, administration, faculty, staff, parents, honored guests, Dr. DeLullo, Honorable Mayor Policina, Chairman LaFazia, members of the school committee, and most importantly, members of the class of 2020. 2,480. That's the total number of days that have passed since most of us met on August 28th, 2013, when you entered Nicholas A. Ferry Middle School as sixth graders, and tonight, June 12th, 2020. When you look at that number, it's really not a big deal. I mean, 2,480. 2,480 pennies equals $24.80. But in days, that number represents almost 7 years. Stop for a moment and ask yourself this question. What have I accomplished in 2,480 days? I can tell you one big thing. You are here because you have successfully completed what was expected of you, and you have reached another milestone in your lives. Over those 2,480 days, you have completed required coursework, earned passing grades, developed into outstanding athletes, artists, musicians, and scholars. You have also grown into fine young men and young women, of whom I am so very proud. You are no longer that unsure 11 or 12-year-old. You are now mature young men and women prepared and ready for your next adventure. Why am I so proud of you? Because I have been blessed with the opportunity to have been with you during these 2,480 days. I feel that I am not only your principal, your mentor, your role model or advisor, but I am like your dad. I'm your school dad. And as your school dad, it's been my job not only to ensure that you are learning the requisite amount of credits and knowing how to write a paragraph, multiply fractions, or muddle through a foreign language. It's been my responsibility to ensure that you have the skills to handle adversity and disappointment. It's been my responsibility to be there to support you when you fall or when you struggled. It's been my responsibility just to be there and listen when you were sad. No one could have anticipated that our 2,480 days to be interrupted the way they were on March 13th, 2020, when schools closed due to the pandemic. No one could have expected our year to end the way it did, experiencing sadness and disappointment. However, since March 13th, I have seen you rise to the challenge. You kept up with your studies, you continue to work hard to reach your goals, all while supporting one another. Many of you took me up on my offer to meet me through Google Meets during the personalization periods just to talk and hang out and to say that we missed each other. You continue to be connected to your teachers and your classmates virtually. You still yearned to show your Panther pride and show how important it is to be a member of the Johnston Senior High School community with your videos and messages of love and support. You are Johnston Senior High School. Each and every one of you makes us great. 19th century German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, "Was mich nicht umbringt, macht mich stärker." And it's usually translated into English as, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." This phrase is used to express resilience and determination. You have experienced a sense of loss and disappointment through no fault of your own. Yet, here we are tonight. You earned the right to receive your diploma through all of the fear and uncertainty that has been with all of us during the second half of the school year. You should all be very proud of what you have been able to do. 2,480 days. In another 7 years, you will be 25 or 26 years old. Looking back at what you have done in 2,480 days, now look ahead at what you will be able to accomplish in that amount of time. Believe me, it goes by very fast. And I would like to leave you all with one last thought. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how smart you are, how pretty or how handsome you are, or how famous you are. People will remember you for how you spoke to them and how you treated them. Never forget that. I'm going to miss you all so very much. Thank you. Now I invite Dimitri Dimitropoulos, President of the Class of 2020, to deliver his greetings. Dimitri?
Hello. Approximately 3 years ago, me and Josh Tanucci, a fellow member of the class, were playing video games together, chatting. And I'll never forget the conversation we had. We were discussing our future goals and aspirations and just what we wanted out of high school. The discussion went a little deeper until we both came to the consensus that we were going to have to take 100% control over the school to make the changes we had in mind. Tragically, though, being the weak and tiny freshmen we were, we soon found that to not be possible. But with a brave voice, I told him I would run for president of the class. Only if he ran for vice president. Like the good friend he is, he didn't run for the position. But I indeed applied for the spot as class president, and somehow I won. As you can see, that's why they allowed me to give this speech, which I'm still not sure if me being given this opportunity for a speech was a good idea, but we'll see. And congratulations to you all. I have to sit here through my bad anecdotes and dry humor, but I'll try my best to make this as not painful or boring as possible. While I know it's a cliche statement, I just have to recognize it. Like, we're actually here right now. No, you're not dreaming, and no, you can't drop out anymore. That's no longer an option, sadly, but you are indeed actually graduating. Which, hey, is pretty exciting. I mean, we're about to go on to do great things, and I don't think it's sad, maybe a little emotional. Not gonna lie, I did tear up writing this a little bit, more than I care to admit. I know not all of us necessarily liked high school, and I know it could get stressful at times, but we all tried to make the most of it. You know, we had battle of the classes, dances, movie nights, float, which float I won't get too into because it gives me stress just thinking about all the work we had to do for that. There were meetings I just wanted to give up, but you have to keep going. You have to fight through the hard times. But I mean, my stress was valid. We worked so hard just to get third place, even though we deserved first sophomore year, but hey, you know, that's life. And sometimes life has its ups and downs. We did get first for most third places though, so that's kind of neat. But like I said, we made the most out of what was thrown at us, and that's kind of the point of it all, to live life to the fullest day by day. Allow yourself to appreciate what you have, because then, when you do have ups, you're even more content than expected. As Mr. Pimento once informed me about, carpe diem, which is Latin for seize the moment. It might not be as intense as it sounds when applied to high school, but basically, do everything you can to be as successful as possible. Whether it was staying up all night for studying midterms, having 6-hour float meetings to finish construction, or nervously making that really embarrassing poster to ask a girl to a school dance. Doesn't matter. Seize the moment. And I think this is crucial. If we all just made each day the best it could be, then every week will be good, and every month, and eventually we'll look back on our lives and think, wow, I did that. We'll be proud of ourselves. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. If we can confidently say, I have done everything in my power to be great. It might sound like a lot, but hey, that's life. And life is hard, so prepare now. Speaking of life being hard, I remember driving to work to graduation as an usher last year, and getting into a car accident on the way over to the ceremony. Yep, my first car accident after only having my license for 1 month. I went to change lanes, and I thought, hey, that car's not supposed to be there. And just like that, I ran into a dude going only 1 mile per hour. I think I was more emotional in that moment than I am now. I mean, I was so devastated. I remember talking to my dad later that night and him saying, hey, things happen. And you know, at a first response, that made me really angry. Like, really, Dad, that's all you could come up with? Really? Initially, it didn't make me feel any better. Like, I'm still the idiot who ran into the guy at a red light. Just so stupid. But he told me another thing too, and it was that sometimes you just gotta get back up, even when you feel you are at your lowest. You have to keep going. You have to make the most out of a bad situation. Carpe diem. And I can kind of halfway partially say I did just that this past year. I at least tried to seize the moment. But I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm happy where we're all at. And most certainly, we didn't do it alone. We have many people by our side to consider. To the parents, thank you for being there unconditionally with love and support. To the community of Johnston, thank you for being so cohesive and bringing the feeling of togetherness. And to the school faculty, thank you for trying to provide the best, utmost education possible. And some quick shout-outs, if I may. To my advisors, Ms. Creco and Mr. Verardo, thank you for always being there to pick me up when I was too stressed from responsibilities, for guiding me and the rest of us when we didn't know the direction to go, and for genuinely the best teaching we could ever ask for. We all consider you both more than advisors, but as friends. To Mr. Russo, thank you for showing us school spirit and what it means to be a true Panther. Mrs. Royer, thank you for always asking me how my day was and trying to make schooling fun for me, because we both know I dreaded most of my other classes. And Mr. Morrell, for being there since grade 6. I mean, grade 6. The only thing that changed between now and then as I'm writing the speech is Mr. Morrell has a beard. Not sure why it took 7 years to grow that thing, but that's his personal issue. Also not really sure how he never got sick of us, but that's just the type of man he is. But most importantly, you were an example of a true leader. And you helped make me and the rest of us the most respectful and mature individuals we could be. I thank you all, and we as a class do as well. I mean, it's crazy. This whole situation is absolutely crazy. And I don't just mean us graduating, but the circumstances we're in. It's sad to see our senior year cut short, but as I said, sometimes life is rough. It's not new to see how we handled the situation, however. I always knew we were strong. As a group, as a class, we are strong. Unless you ask us for our tug-of-war record in Battle of the Classes, then maybe we're not so tough. By that standard, the freshmen are superior, and that's just sad. But look at us, young and healthy individuals. I mean, we'll be the class to go down in history who conquered coronavirus, which is amazing. Maybe we'll be in the books our kids get to read and when they get to high school. Actually, that might not be a good idea. I don't think any of us want our kids to know what we did in high school. But it is extremely unfortunate that we never got to go to our final classes. It's really sad. It's really sad. As a free thinker and famous rapper, Playboy Cardi, once said, "No cap and gown, I ain't go to class, yeah." And he's partially right on that one. However, he was most certainly right when he also said in the same song, "Just to feel like this, it took a long time, yeah, slat." And I'm not too good on lingo, but I would indeed say to you, my fellow classmates, you are indeed my slats. And to reach where we are today, to have finally graduated, yeah, it indeed took a long time. And to that, I want to say I am proud of where we are, how far we've come, and where our future endeavors will take us. And I don't want to say goodbye, but to say see you later, as I wish all of you the best of luck. I have nothing but respect for each and every one of you. Finally, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and remember to always seize the moment. You've earned it. Congratulations, class of 2020. We finally won.
And now I would like to invite the Honorable Joseph M. Policina, Mayor of the great town of Johnston, for his congratulatory remarks.
Congratulations to the Johnston High School class of 2020. I want you to all know how proud I am of each and every one of you. As an alumnus of Johnston High School class of 1972, there's a special place in my heart for each and every one of you. I know that for the past 4 years you've worked so very hard for this day to come. Your hard work and dedication to your studies have come full circle, and yes, your graduation day is here at last. Each and every one of you will face new challenges in your future. You may have already made the decision to attend college, attend a trade school program, join the military, or start a career. No matter what you have chosen, I know you'll be extremely successful. As we face uncertain times in this pandemic, I know that many of you from the class of 2020 will go out and do great things, perhaps work in a field that will discover treatments and cures for any future pandemics. You're all very special. Your thirst for knowledge and compassion for others make you very special. Your journey at Johnston High School comes to an end, but shortly another journey will begin. You may be a bit timid about going out into this wide open world, but please don't be timid. You, the class of 2020, will make this world a better place and ensure that our current and future society will be a better place and ensure equity for all. I ask that as you go your separate ways, you remember these special years at Johnston High School. Remember your friends, your teachers, your coaches, your principals, and class advisors. And at Johnston High School, if you keep them in your memories, it'll put a smile on your face each and every time you think about them. Please always thank and cherish your parents and family members. They've worked so hard for you, which is one of the many reasons for your success. I know that the Johnston High School graduating class of 2020 will go out and do great things. You will open up opportunities for others to succeed. I want to say one last thing. I know there's a great disappointment in not participating in a conventional graduation ceremony. Just as disappointed as you are, I, along with your parents, family members, and teachers, are equally disappointed. But we are in different times for the moment. However, as Americans and Johnston High School graduates, you can and will adapt to any adverse situation that may come before you. That's what makes you a Johnston High School Panther. That's what makes you Johnston strong. Don't forget your town. Always leave the door open to come back and help make your town a better place to live, work, and play. We'll be depending on you to do just that. In leaving, I just want to give you one quote that I kind of use all the time, especially at graduations. I think it's very appropriate for all of the graduating class. Now, let me say that where I got this quote is when I was a senior here at Johnston High School, my first paying job, I worked at a radio station as a radio announcer / disc jockey. And I would always air the show by Casey Kasem. And he would always end his radio show with the following quote, which is very appropriate for all of you. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. May God bless all of you and watch over you. Peace, love, and stay safe. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Bernard DeLullo, to give his congratulatory remarks.
Good evening, honored guests, faculty and staff, parents and family members, and of course, the very special class of 2020. You've heard the phrase that it takes a village to raise a child many times. To this point, I want you to reflect on how you got to this graduation this evening. Your parents were your first teachers. They instilled in you the important values of life. First, they taught you the necessary basics, such as speaking, walking, and eating. Then, as you grew, they taught you to be tolerant, accepting, respectful, moral, and to always do your best. When you turned 5 years old, you came to school. Every one of your teachers from kindergarten through high school built on your knowledge, skill, and determination, and they challenged you. They worked hard while you worked hard, all the time being supported by your family and friends. They all had a hand in bringing you to this evening. In the 17 or 18 years that have just passed, you have learned a great deal, not only academically, but also emotionally and socially. You understand the person you are and have formed an idea of who you want to be and how you will live the rest of your life. You should be proud of what you have learned and accomplished, but please understand that the learning has just begun. You will continue to grow each day with every experience you have had, and you will continue to evolve to meet the idea of who you want to be. You will continue to meet the successes and failures, but remember to always face the challenges with respect, kindness to others, moral behaviors, and humility. The culmination of your childhood years is tonight's graduation. You are ending a period when you are under the control of others and entering a life full of independence. This independence comes with an abundance of responsibility. Others will begin to rely on you as you have relied on others. Take your role seriously and act ethically. Be sure to thank those that supported you, your parents and families, your teachers and administrators, the community members, and anyone else who has contributed to make your life richer. As you leave Johnston High School, you are on the road to becoming an integral part of the community. You will now participate in the development of others as you pursue your careers. You will take your place as government leaders, teachers, medical professionals, business persons, engineers, or any other role you choose. In that role, you will have the responsibility of contributing to making the lives of others better. Every decision you make should be made with the understanding of its effect on others. If you practice that, you will always feel good about yourself, your decisions, and what you are able to accomplish. So, class of 2020, I commend you on all your accomplishments. I hope that you are blessed with an abundance of happiness and success in the future. I hope you accomplish great things in life, and I look forward to your contributions to our society. We will miss you as you move on from Johnston, but always remember that this is your home and foundation. Congratulations to all of you on a job well done.
I would like to invite Chairman of the Johnston School Committee, Mr. Robert LaFazia, for his remarks.
Good evening. On behalf of the school committee, we would like to extend our sincere congratulations to members of the graduating class of 2020. I am honored to be speaking to you this evening and be the first to say that from this evening on, you graduates will need to strike and to maintain a lifelong balance between all that you have learned and all that you will need to learn in the future years to come. This evening is a tribute to all of the years of educational efforts and accomplishments. The efforts of your family and teachers have been part and parcel of this endeavor. By now, you seniors have made choices concerning your futures. You will either continue your education, join a family business, or enter the workforce. Your education has assisted you in making these choices. Your career choices are not carved in granite, but love for it will make every day a pleasant and positive work in progress. Your successes and leadership roles are all up to you, and adventures begin tonight. Please remember always to value teamwork. Whether you're an employee or employer, teamwork is a basic to mental and financial success. In your future endeavors, remember to let people believe what they want to believe, and the element of surprise will always work in your favor. I will leave you with this. Mary Kay Ash stated, "When you reach an obstacle, Turn it into an opportunity. You have the choice. You can overcome and be a winner, or you can allow it to overcome you and be a loser. The choice is yours and yours alone. Refuse to throw in the towel. Go the extra mile that failures refuse to travel. It is far better to be exhausted from success than be rested from failure. In closing, my colleagues and I would like to wish you all the best of health, happiness, and success on the road ahead, and may God watch over all of you. We are extremely proud of all your accomplishments and look forward to learning of your future successes. Stay strong, stay safe. God bless you all, the class of 2020.
And now I would like to invite your class advisors for the class of 2020, Miss Nadia Crico and Mr. Vincent Verado, to deliver their remarks.
Class of 2020, welcome to the moment that you have been waiting for what feels like an eternity. While I know that it is not what any of us had imagined, not even in our wildest dreams, this day is still special, and we still have so much to celebrate. If you know me at all, then you know that I have been terrified of this moment for the past 4 years. Terrified to get up and speak in front of all of you, your families, our administrators, the town dignitaries, and terrified of breaking down and crying. And while this is not how I pictured addressing all of you, let the record show that I am still terrified. When Mr. Verardo and I signed on to be your class advisors 4 years ago, this moment seemed so far away. When I close my eyes, I am back at Brood Awakenings, meeting a handful of you for the first time. Back then, none of us knew what we were doing. You were much smaller, but you had 2020 vision and a bunch of big ideas for your first homecoming float. And while you all complained about those Battle of the Classes shirts that first year, and every year, actually, I still think that slogan describes you perfectly. You are visionaries. And I have grown accustomed to your big, and sometimes crazy, ideas over the years. Whether you were the supreme sophomores with the float that brought us back to 67, or the Jaws juniors that sang Baby Shark loud and proud for all to hear, you have consistently amazed me with your originality and fearlessness. In fact, I have often watched you in amazement over the years. It's rare for teenagers to know who they are and to be so sure of what they want. But you all have managed to stay true to yourselves from day one, and you never stopped impressing me with how fiercely you stand up for what you believe in. Now, as you look towards infinity and beyond, I know that whatever big ideas you have will help you leave your mark on this world. You have the ability to change the world for the better, and if anyone can do it, there is no doubt in my mind that it will be you. So, here we are, and I am tasked with leaving you with the final piece of advice. But what can I say that I haven't already told you over the past 4 years? Be good people. Think before you speak. If someone breaks your heart, then it's their loss. If you've ever been to a float meeting or stayed after school in my classroom, you've heard plenty of my words of wisdom. But I'll share one more with you for old time's sake. Everything happens for a reason. At your age, I hated that phrase. However, if there is one lesson that I have learned repeatedly over the years, it is that life does not always go as you had planned. And the universe has a way of tossing things at you that you never saw coming. But this isn't always a bad thing. And sometimes it ends up being a blessing in disguise. Of course, you won't always know that right away. In fact, years might go by before you finally realize it. Just take my word for it. But when you're faced with an obstacle, or when your plans don't unfold the way you had wanted them to, remember that everything happens for a reason, and that life always has a way of working itself out in the end. I want you to know that it has been an honor and pleasure being your class advisor and working alongside you and Mr. Verardo for the past 4 years. It wasn't always easy, but it has been an unforgettable experience, and I will cherish all the memories we've made for the rest of my life. You will forever hold a special place in my heart, class of 2020. I hope you never forget that. And to my wonderful homeroom, 209, my mornings will not be the same without all of you and our laughs. Don't tell the others, but you truly are the best, and no one will ever be able to fill your shoes. And now, my dears, we are officially at the end of this chapter, and I have to say goodbye to you. But as Mr. Verardo has consistently reminded me over the past few weeks, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. I cannot put into words how incredibly proud I am of all of you. Your perseverance, originality, and resilience have carried you this far and helped you achieve remarkable things. Take those qualities and hold on to them tightly as you embark on this new adventure. I wish you nothing but happiness and success, no matter where your path may lead you, and I look forward to hearing about all the things the future has in store for you. Congratulations, class of 2020. Go out there and show the world what you're made of.
To the Johnston High School class of 2020, with Ms. Creco touching on all of the traditional, memorable moments over the last 4 years, I have planned a little something different. Now, I always knew that this moment would be upon us, and though I did think it would be at a different venue, in a bit of a different way, I have always known that I wanted my last message to you to be one final lesson in the form of a story. So, if you would indulge me for just a few more minutes, we will begin where all good stories do, with Once Upon a Time. Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, there was a boy graduating high school. Top of his class, he knew that college was the destination, filled with hopes and dreams, plans for a successful future, the works. You see, for this boy, leaving high school was tough, leaving behind friends, family, and the safety of what was known. But the future provided hope, provided optimism, and comfort in the form of a new, clearly defined path. After 4 more years of education, that comfort and optimism again began to waver. At the end of his college days, the boy was prepared for the long journey ahead, or at least he should have been. Grades were good, friends were good, family was good. Everything had gone as planned, but in the weeks that followed his college graduation, a sinking feeling began to set in. There was no summer break, there was no clearly defined path awaiting in September. Instead, it was time to blindly move forward, not knowing where or what the destination was. This led the boy to a feeling of fear, anxiety, and it was overwhelming. So he did what everyone else before him had done. He did what he was supposed to do. He found a job and began working each and every day like everyone else. But in his heart of hearts, he knew it was not right. He knew that this was not his path. He knew that 50 years like this would break him, as it had no doubt broken millions before him, and millions more that very moment. You see, for this boy, money was not the destination. Stature was not the destination. There was no destination. He was lost. In an attempt for safety and perhaps a longing feeling for familiarity, he decided to leave his well-paying job and go back to school. Now, this was not an easy decision. Friends warned against it. Family rallied that there was nothing better, nothing more rewarding at the end of the road. Nonetheless, he left with but some savings in the bank, no prospect of employment moving forward, and nothing but uncertainty ahead. It was a gamble that could break him. After a year of preparation, the boy's fate was about to be determined. Deciding to become a teacher, he stood in front of a 7th grade geography class for the first time, with no experience, no idea what to do, no idea if he was actually meant to be there, petrified of public speaking, and with everything on the line. But in that moment, and the moments that followed, something incredible happened. You see, the boy was no longer alone on his journey. He still may have been walking blindly, but this time, he was walking with these students beside him. They were forging a path of their own, making their own journey, their own adventure. And for the first time in a long time, the boy no longer felt lost. Now, yes, I may be the boy, but this is not my story. It is our story, because you are that class. When I say that the last 6 years with you have been some of the most difficult, profound, memorable, joyous, and meaningful years of my life, this is why. Because perhaps unknown to you, but each and every day we have spent together, those bonds, those relationships, those moments have helped you just as much as they have helped me. We have built a path, a future, together, and I am so appreciative to all of you for that. Now the lesson. The road ahead may not be an easy one. There may come a time when you question the choices you made, where you have to toss everything aside, where you must take a chance, where the fear of uncertainty takes over. Especially in this world, especially today, you are going to be venturing and encountering things that cannot be imagined. In those moments, remember this. Remember our story. For it is the bonds and relationships you form, both those of the past and of the future, that will help you through anything. So, do not be afraid to take the chance, to reach for your dreams, and to form a path all your own. Because when we walk together, we never journey alone. I know that you will be the group that will change this world. I should know. You have already changed mine. To conclude, I will end as all good stories do. And so our journey has come to an end, but yours continues on. Grab a hold of your dreams and make them come true. Now go, let your dreams guide you, and find your happily ever after. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2020.
And at this time, I present to you your salutatorian of the class of 2020, Carlos Fregoso.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and motor vehicles. On behalf of the class of 2020, I'd like to thank you all for coming here tonight to celebrate us and our accomplishments. It's been a long year, and it means a lot to every one of us that you all could be here to show your support. I find it rather strange to be speaking today. How long ago was it that I was walking these halls for the first time? How long ago was I opening my middle school locker for the first time? How long ago was I nervously walking through the doors of my elementary school for the first time? It can be scary to think of how quickly time plows along without regard for anyone or anything. It's scary to think that one day I'll wake up and I'll be 90 years old and I'll be thinking the same thing that's going through my mind right now. I blinked and I missed it. Time, in all its merciless villainy, is probably the most valuable commodity available to human beings, given how little of it we actually have. Think about it. The universe is somewhere around 14 billion years old, although that's still a question that has a lot of uncertainty around it. And humanity has only been here for around the past 200,000 of those years. In comparison with that, the average lifespan of a human is roughly 79 years. We spend the first 18 years in school or preparing to begin school. Then we add college for some, and that can add 4 or more years to that tally. So we'll subtract 22 years from the 79 years, and we're left with 57 years at our disposal. Most will work until they're 65, so we're really only left with around 14 years. Consider also that we spend a third of our lives asleep, so out of those 14 years, we really only have a little above 9 years of being awake and not having to go to work or to school. With this in mind, I find the intrinsic human tendency of wasting time absolutely fascinating. Now, don't think that I'm preaching, because I'm just as guilty as anybody. I constantly find myself lost in deep voids of garbage on YouTube or scrolling mindlessly through Instagram. However, though we're all guilty of throwing a few hours down the drain, staring at the walls, I find it sad that some people spend those first 65 years doing something that they dislike. I believe that it's our duty to spend as much of the little time that we're allotted doing something we love. And if we're going to spend the majority of our lives working or preparing to work, we should spend those years doing something we enjoy. It's a tragedy to see someone trudging through a job that they hate for 30 or 40 years. You're spending the majority of the small amount of time you're gifted working, and by throwing away those years, those important years, you're throwing away most of your life. Don't take that time for granted, because if these few months have shown us anything, it's how easily we take things in our life for granted. In fact, I think that the human ability to take things for granted in general is even more interesting than our ability to waste time. Why is it that we never truly appreciate something great that we're living until it's taken from us? Why do we only realize what we had once it's gone? I personally found myself reflecting on this fact a great deal during these past few months, particularly because I've been haunted by my last few moments of class on March 13th. Upon hearing that Rhode Island schools would be closed for a week, a wave of relief and joy spread over me, as I'm sure was the case for many others. After the first week of lockdown, I was feeling relaxed, albeit a little bored. By the time we heard that the rest of the school year had been canceled, I wanted nothing else than to go back to school. It pains me how much I took something as simple as going to school every morning for granted, despite how painful waking up at 6 a.m. can be after writing an essay until 4 in the morning. How is it possible that I took even just walking the halls with my friends for granted? Why do I find myself missing things like our airport library now? If there's one thing that I regret this past year, it's not cherishing the moments that counted as much as I could have. And if I could give some advice to anyone, it's to live every second to its fullest. I'm aware that this is a phrase that's tossed around a lot, and I'm sure that we've all heard it at one point or another. But if we didn't heed its words before, I believe we should heed them now. Now we see how our world can come crashing down right before us. And if we're to take anything out of this, I think it should be a newfound appreciation for the little things in our lives that we probably don't notice all the time. Pay attention to the smell of fresh air as you walk down the street. Notice the sound of the bees flying past your ear. Remember the vibrant colors of the rainbow that appear after a summer drizzle. Most importantly, however, enjoy every moment that you have with the people you love, because one day, those moments are going to end. I'd like to leave you all with a decision today. We seniors find ourselves at a fork in the road. We find ourselves at the top of a hill which splits into two paths: the beginning of our lives or the end of our lives. It's up to us to choose which of the two we take, and it's up to us to make the right decisions to get us into the correct path. I can't leave you today without saying thank you to some important people. I wouldn't have the opportunity to stand in front of you today if it weren't for the love and support of the people in my life. Firstly, I'd like to thank my family, because they've always been there to support me. No matter what, I know that I can always turn to them if I have a problem or need help with anything. I'd like to thank each and every one of my teachers for helping me to get to where I am today. Your guidance has allowed me to better myself through education, and your work will allow me to succeed in college next year. In particular, I'd specifically like to extend a thank you to Mr. Lamoureux, Ms. Ruggiero, Ms. Fresalone, Ms. Vellante, and Mr. DeMeo, who all made high school bearable. I'd like to thank Mr. Russo for giving so much to the school. A lot of people don't realize the amount of work that goes into events like homecoming or winter ball, and you've taught me how things that are worth doing take work and dedication. I'd like to thank Mr. Verardo and Ms. Crico, simply because they've had to deal with us for 4 years. We're not an easy class to deal with. I'd like to thank my girlfriend, Gianna, for being by my side for more than 2 years. I wouldn't be the same person without her. I'd also like to thank all of my friends and all of the people that I met in high school for making the hard parts easier. Studying for an exam isn't as bad when you have a group of people that all share in your pain and agony. I'll never forget any of you, and you'll all hold a dear spot in my heart. I'd like to leave you all today inviting you to look backwards. Look at everything that we've overcome. From unfair float judging to a literal global pandemic, the class of 2020 has faced it all. More importantly, we've faced it all, and we've prevailed. Like Harriet Beecher Stowe said, when you get into a tight place and everything goes against you, till it seems as though you could not hang on a minute longer, never give up then, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn. Never give up, and you will never fail. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2020.
And now, I invite your class valedictorian, Madison Turcott, to deliver her remarks.
Good evening, Principal Morel, Assistant Principals Mansiri and Panacchia, Mayor Policina, Town Council members, School Committee members, Superintendent DeLulo, Assistant Superintendent Zarella, Johnston Senior High School faculty and staff, family, friends, and most importantly, members of the class of 2020. I am honored to be standing in front of you to commemorate the endless accomplishments of the class of 2020. On behalf of the graduates, I would like to thank you for joining us on this momentous occasion. Although this is not the graduation ceremony which we have been envisioning for the last 4 years, its significance has not been diminished. As the members of this graduating class continue to grow into productive members of society, to learn the difficult lessons which life has to offer, and to pave our paths in the world, I can say with the utmost certainty that we shall carry with us the invaluable memories and experiences we gained as students at Johnston Senior High School. While the success which we are celebrating today would not have been possible without the graduating class of 2020's tremendous amount of hard work, we would certainly not be here without the help of our dedicated teachers, faculty, and staff at Johnston Senior High School. Being given this honorable platform, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude for all those who have helped my fellow graduates and me to achieve this milestone. To my mom, dad, and brothers, I would like to thank you for supporting me throughout my high school career, for holding my hand through long nights spent studying, and for cheering me on before every school event. Without all of your support and tough love, I would not have been able to accomplish all the things which I have over these last 4 years at Johnston Senior High School. To Mr. Morrell, thank you for following us along our academic journey over the last 7 years and for being personally invested in the life of each one of your students. Despite the challenges which we had entering freshman year together with a certain dress code, my classmates and I could not be more grateful to have been given the opportunity to have you as our principal through both middle and high school. To Mr. Mansiri, thank you for your countless lunchtime conversations and advice. You constantly make yourself available to brighten the days of your students and to offer them the support which they need to get through the hard ones. With that being said, however, I will never forget the time when you wrote me up for being late to class to add character to my record. To Ms. Creco and Mr. Verardo, thank you for making the last 4 years as memorable as possible despite the many obstacles which stood in your way throughout the process. Through hand-delivering yard signs and customized graduation cups, planning junior prom and sophomore semi, organizing our senior trip to Disney, rest in peace, and for continuing to make senior year as wonderful as possible through your 2020 year in review videos. Whether it is by sending birthday presents to students who are homebound during the coronavirus, or by sending wake-up texts to homeroom students who slept through their alarms, you two have spared no effort in caring for your advisees. Finally, to my fellow graduates, thank you for the memories and relationships which we have formed together over the last 4 years. Although today marks the day in which we begin our individual life journeys, I know that we have formed friendships which will last a lifetime, and I will never forget any of the experiences which we were able to enjoy together. And while all of this knowledge will be important while we move forward in life, I believe that the greatest lesson we have learned in high school is how to rely on each other through difficult times. As Oprah said in her salute to the class of 2020, never has a graduating class been called to step into the future with more purpose, vision, passion, energy, and hope. While some obstacles during our senior year may have been expected, such as being kicked out of the Flow Overnighter, the class of 2020 never could have anticipated the challenges we have since faced. With that being said, however, I am choosing to focus on what we have gained from this unfortunate turn of events instead of discussing the many experiences which we have lost. For instance, in the face of the coronavirus, both parents and teachers have gone above and beyond to preserve the positive memory which seniors will have of their final year in high school for the rest of their lives. Whether it was by parents adopting senior students to celebrate their many accomplishments, or by teachers mailing presents to lift students' moods during AP exams, this historical undertaking has brought Johnston Senior High School closer as a community than it has ever been before. Together as a class, we have battled through 4 years of midterms and final exams. We have overcome countless nights full of stress and studying, and we have persevered through the first pandemic of this magnitude in over 100 years. Whenever a class graduates, they leave behind a legacy. When other people think about the class of 2020, they think about students who missed their senior prom and many other senior privileges. But when I think about the class of 2020, I see a group of students who banded together and found light in even the most obscure times. Although we may not be able to say that we never got into fights, and we may not be able to say that we were tame during school events, the wildness of our class was undoubtedly the thing which made it so special. A testimony to us is that when everything around us failed, the class of 2020 stuck together and continued to persevere. While we may not be able to celebrate our senior year in the fun and careless ways which we had originally envisioned, I can say with absolute certainty that none of us will forget the years which we were able to spend together. Wherever the world may take the class of 2020 in the years to come, we can be certain that the close-knit community which we have built at Johnston Senior High School will follow. I am so unbelievably proud of everything which we have accomplished together over the last 4 years, and I cannot wait to see all the amazing achievements each of us will realize. Congratulations, and as Mr. Donovan would say, have a life. Thank you. Woo!
Jordan Aceta. Ayla Alfea. Ayla will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Elizabeth Amaral. Samantha Amaral. Brandon Andrade. Brandon will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Abraham Andres. Abraham will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Anthony Andrioli. Anthony Angelone. Anthony will be attending Roger Williams University. Brian Aquino. Nayeli Arboleda. Nayeli will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Yenny Aubin. Yenny will be attending Michigan State University. Yoel Aubin. Beverly Avellino Santana. Beverly will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Corey Barboza. Jacob Barnier. Michelle Barron. Ryan Begnosh. Paige Biselli. Paige will be attending Rhode Island College. Joshua Bryan. Josh will be attending Rhode Island College. Joseph Broder. Nicholas Butler. William Butterfield. Justin Cabral. Taylor Cabral. Kiana Cambio. Kiana will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Daniel Cambranes. Lauren Campagnon. Lauren will be attending Jacksonville University. Jason Canton. Faith Carpenter. Faith will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Bria Carpentier. Bria will be attending New England Institute of Technology. Riley Chalafu. Chloe Champagne. Marlena Collardo. Marlena will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Thomas Colombo. Tom will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Jonathan Comprone. Paul Conti. Paul will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. David Conti. Logan Cook. Olivia Costa. Adonai Cummings. Janice Diambra. Janice will be attending Rhode Island College. Maxwell Duva. Madison Dannenfelser. Christian Daza. Gianna DeFusco. Gianna will be attending Rhode Island College. Nicolette DeFusco. Nikki will be attending Rhode Island College. Dimitri Demetropoulos. Dimitri will be attending Johnson and Wales University. David DiOrio. Ryan DiLorenzo. Kayla DeLulo. Cassidy DeSano. Cassidy will be attending Rhode Island College. Derek Doucette. Angelina Emerson. Angelina will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Jillian Estrada. Merle Estrada. Nicholas Fagbo. David Fargnoli. Jason Fargnoli. Cameron Fernandez. Chantel Ferreira. Mark Ferreira. Christopher Flanagan. Chris will be attending the University of Constance. Carlos Fergoso. Carlos will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Nicholas Fratantuano. Paul Furtado. Anthony Fusick. Liliana Garcia. Liliana will be attending Rhode Island College. Dulce Maria Gyron. Samantha Gobiel. Sam will be attending Stonehill College. Wildelise Gonzalez Rodriguez. Nicholas Gannett. Nick will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Alexis Gerton. Kishmael Guliati. Allison Hall. Daryl Harley. Scarlett Harley. Brendan Hassel. Jacob Healy. Jake will be attending Bryant University. Michaela Healy. Michaela will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Salma Hideli. Salma will be attending Rhode Island College. Aislinn Heron. Kayla Hernandez. Emily Hill. Emily will be attending Johnson and Wales University. Caroline Howe. Michael Ianello. David Ianachilli. Raymond Ianachillo. Ray will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Cameron Isimone. Cam will be attending Rhode Island College. Justin Izzo. Justin will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Alexia Jankura. Alexia will be attending Dean College. George Gemery. Layla Jennings. Layla will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Autumn Jessup. Joseph Johnson. Emily Juarez. Allison Kane. Allie will be attending Rhode Island College. Madison Riccio Kenny. Rudy Landon. Elvira Larios Perez. Juliana Ray LaRiviere. Juliana will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Delaney LaRose. Delaney will be attending Rhode Island College. Joseph LaValle. Ryan Lavoy. Erica Lemus Rivera. Erica will be attending the New England Institute of Technology. Christopher Lombardi. Alexia Lorenko.
Luca Medeo Cordarelli. Luca will be attending the University of Kentucky. Tyler Madeira. Michael Maltese. Juliana Manchester. Juliana will be attending Rhode Island College. James Manasseh. Cassidy Marcano. Cassidy will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Ashley Mariscal Castedo. Penelope Marty. Penelope will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Stephanie McCoy. Stephanie will be attending Rhode Island College. Mackenzie McGovern. Robert McGurl. Robert will be attending Johnson and Wales University. James McHale. Andrew Medeiros. Devin Medeiros. Samantha Malillo. Edward Melvin. Kiara Menchu. Franklin Mercado. Madison Miller. Isabella Mizuraca. Cecile Montenegro. Cecile will be attending Johnson & Wales University. Louis Montenegro. Louis will be attending New England Institute of Technology. Yanalise Moquette. Israel Morales. Taylor Morazowitz. Edward Orellano. Jaden Osborne. Jayana Otto, Tatiana Pagan, Victoria Palma, Derek Paquin. Derek will be joining the United States Army National Guard. Angelina Perillo. Angelina will be attending Emerson College. Isabella Perillo. Isabella will be attending Rhode Island College. Joshua Perillo. Om Patel. Joseph Patterson. Silvana Periquito. Megan Philbrick. Megan will be attending Rhode Island College. Alexandria Pine. Samuel Pineda. Jakeem Pyers. Keandro Pyers. Madeline Plant. William Poland. Alex Pola. James Poole. Silvana Pareca. Nitsa Prasith. Nitsa will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Mia Ragasta. Mia will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Danny Ramirez. Olivia Ray. Damari Robinson. Emiseli Rodriguez. Emiseli will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Kayla Rogers. Alexis Ramald. Alexis will be attending Rhode Island College. Lexiana Rossi. Lexi will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Joseph Rotella. Joseph will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Sophie Russo. Isaac Semayoa. Anthony Sandback. Anthony will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Rebelis Santos Enriquez. Rebelis will be attending Curry College. Dominique Santos. Dominique will be attending Bryant University. Henry Saucedo. Henry will be joining the Rhode Island National Guard. Ryan Savard. Anthony Scavola. Anthony will be attending Rhode Island College. Rosemary Scorpio. Rosemary will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Olivia Scuncio. Olivia will be attending Roger Williams University. Carlos Sagama. Anthony Serrano. Thomas Savigny Jr. Melanie Sical. Adriana Sadati. Emily Sierra. Jay Simone. Brianna Sitko. Desiree Smith. Brianna Snowling. Natalia Soares. Natalia will be attending Rhode Island College. Cameron Sonner. Cameron will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Nicholas Souzer. Dylan Swider. Taylor Tangway Rossi. Taylor will be attending Hobart and William Smith Colleges. Anthony Tavares. Mark Tellier. Ariel Fenn. Makai Temis. Makai will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Michaela Temis. Michaela will be attending Johnson and Wales University. Ambiori Tiburcio. Joshua Tanucci. Josh will be attending New England Tech. Yarielis Torres Morales. Alexander Tum. Alex will be attending Rhode Island College. Alexander Turcott. Alex will be joining the local Carpenters Union. Alexis Turcott. Alexis will be attending New England Institute of Technology. Madison Turcott. Madison will be attending Rhode Island College. Haley Rochelle Turner. Haley will be attending Tony and Guy's School of Cosmetology. Jonathan Valdez. John will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Sarah Valentine. Sarah will be attending the Community College of Rhode Island. Jade Bejarano. Jade will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Stephen Valleca. Derek Ventura. Javier Villar. Luke David Vincent. Gianna Vittorioso. Gianna will be attending Rhode Island College. Trevor Whelan. Kaylin Zalewski. Kaylin will be attending UMass Dartmouth. Matthew Zambarano.
I would like to thank everyone involved in putting our presentation together. It was a lot of hard work over a number of days, and it was a great team effort. And I would like to thank the Johnston School Committee and our superintendent, Dr. DeLulo, for all of their support during this time. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Good afternoon. Please excuse the interruption. This is a message for the class of 2020. You are now officially dismissed.